All right, let's dive in. Today, we're tackling the philosophy behind humanity's fascination with space exploration.
Always a fun one.
Yeah, we'll be looking at this article, Space Exploration, Humanity's Search for Meaning in the Vastness of the Universe, which, gets into some pretty deep stuff.
Oh yeah, we're going way beyond just rockets and planets here.
Exactly. We're talking big questions, like what's our place in the universe? Are we alone? What does it all mean for humanity? The really juicy
The
stuff.
stuff that keeps you up at night.
Totally. So I guess the first thing we got to ask is, why are we so drawn to space? What is it about the cosmos that makes us so curious?
Well, I think you can draw a pretty clear line back to those early explorers, setting sail across uncharted seas, facing the unknown. That same spirit, that same drive to push boundaries, that's what fuels our modern-day space endeavors.
Makes sense. That thirst for discovery, for venturing into the unknown. It's like this primal urge almost.
It really is, and it's not just about conquering new frontiers, right? It's about understanding our place in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, like where do we fit in this whole vast universe?
Exactly. It's about asking those really fundamental questions, the ones that have captivated thinkers for centuries.
And speaking of fundamental questions, how about that moment in history when we realize, hey, we're not the center of the universe?
Yeah.
Talk about a reality check.
Oh, yeah. The Copernican principle. That was a total game changer. It completely shifted our perspective. I mean, for the longest time, we were convinced that Earth was the center of everything.
It's crazy to think about now.
Totally. And the article even mentions how this idea, this shift in thinking, it goes way beyond astronomy. It impacts how we understand the age and scale of the universe, how we see ourselves within this massive, complex system.
It's like that pale blue dot picture that Carl Sagan talked about, right?
Absolutely. Seeing Earth as this tiny speck from Voyager 1, it's pretty humbling.
Oh, yeah. It really makes you realize just how fragile our planet is and how interconnected everything is.
It's a powerful image, a reminder that we're all in this together, sharing this one tiny little planet.
It's true. But even though we're just this little blue dot, we can't help but wonder, are there other dots out there?
Yeah.
Other life forms looking up at their own night sky, asking the same questions we are.
Ah, the age-old question, right? Are we alone?
The million-dollar question, perhaps even the billion-dollar question.
At least. And it's a question that leads to even more questions. Like the Fermi paradox, for instance. If the universe is so vast, why haven't we met any extraterrestrials yet?
Right. It seems like, statistically speaking, there should be someone else out there.
You'd think so. And then you've got the Drake equation, which tries to actually calculate the odds.
A pretty ambitious undertaking.
Oh, for sure. But imagine, even if we don't find intelligent life, what if we stumbled upon even microbial life on another planet?
Whoa. That would be huge.
Absolutely groundbreaking. It would force us to completely rethink our understanding of biology, the origins of life itself.
It's almost like all those sci-fi movies about aliens. They might not be so far-fetched after all.
Stranger things have happened.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's say we encounter other life forms. Or maybe we're the ones venturing out to colonize other planets. Things could get kind of complicated, couldn't they?
Oh, absolutely. Ethics become a major concern. Like, what are our responsibilities as space explorers?
Yeah, we can't just go around doing whatever we want, right?
Exactly. Like, planetary protection. How do we make sure we're not contaminating other worlds with Earth microbes?
Right, we don't want to accidentally wipe out some alien ecosystem.
Not ideal. And what about terraforming? Is it okay to reshape a whole planet to suit our needs? I mean, what if there's already some kind of life there, even if it's just microbes?
Tough questions. And then, of course, there's the ultimate question. What if we meet intelligent alien life? I mean, do we have a responsibility to protect them? To communicate with them? Or would we just be repeating the mistakes of our own history? All the conflicts and colonizations.
Heavy stuff. It's hard to even fathom how such an encounter would play out. But one thing's for sure. Our actions in space will have massive implications, both for ourselves and for any life we might meet along the way. Yeah, it's a big responsibility. We're basically writing the rule book as we go.
That's a good point. It's almost like space exploration is forcing us to grow up as a species, right? To think beyond our immediate needs and really consider the long-term consequences.
I think you're absolutely right. It's pushing us to evolve, not just technologically, but also ethically and philosophically.
Okay, so speaking of evolution, I want to talk about the impact of all this on humanity's future. I mean, we're talking about colonizing other planets. becoming a multi-planetary species.
Right. That's the big dream for a lot of people. And it's not just a sci-fi fantasy anymore.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like a real possibility. And like Stephen Hawking, he was a big proponent of that, right? He said it might be key to our long-term survival.
Yeah, he believed that humanity's best chance was to become a multi-planetary species, like an insurance policy, just in case something catastrophic happens here on Earth.
Makes sense. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Hmm.
But it's not just about survival, right? It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, expanding our horizons.
Exactly. Think about the challenges of adapting to life on another planet. Different gravity, different atmosphere, maybe even different types of radiation. How would our bodies evolve? What kind of social structures would we create?
Totally. We'd have to come up with all sorts of new technologies and innovations just to survive.
Absolutely. It would be a whole new way of life.
It's mind-boggling to think about. Like, would we even be human in the same way if we were born and raised on Mars, for instance?
It's a fascinating question. Would we still have the same values, the same beliefs, the same sense of identity? It really makes you question what it means to be human in the first place.
And I guess it all ties back to those big existential questions we were talking about earlier. What's our purpose? What's our destiny?
Yeah.
Are we meant to stay on this one planet? Or is our future out there among the stars?
Big questions, no easy answers.
But it seems like space exploration at least gives us a new perspective from which to ask them.
For sure. It challenges us to think about ourselves and our place in the universe in a whole new light.
Okay, so let's try to bring all this together. What are some of the key takeaways from all of this?
Well, first and foremost, there's that innate human drive to explore. It's what's led us to climb mountains, sail across oceans, and now venture into space. It's a fundamental part of who we are.
And then there's the realization that we're not the center of the universe.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, the Copernican principle, the pale blue dot image, those really put things into perspective.
It's humbling, but also kind of freeing in a way, don't you think?
It is. And then, of course, there's the ongoing search for extraterrestrial life. That's something that continues to fascinate and inspire us.
Yeah, it's like this constant reminder that there's so much out there that we don't know, so much to discover.
Exactly. And as we continue to explore, we have to remember the ethical implications of our actions. We need to explore responsibly with respect for other worlds and potential life forms.
That's crucial. We don't want to repeat the mistakes of our past.
And finally, there's the incredible potential for space exploration to shape humanity's future. Maybe we'll become a multiplanetary species. Maybe we'll encounter other intelligent life. Who knows what the future holds?
It's exciting and a little bit scary all at the same time.
It is. But it's a future that we're all creating together.
So as we wrap up this part of the deep dive, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on how all of this impacts our lives here on Earth? Like, does thinking about space exploration change our perspective on everyday life?
It definitely can. For me, it's about finding a sense of perspective. Recognizing that our problems, while real and important, are often dwarfed by the vastness of existence.
I get that. It's like those everyday worries suddenly seem a little less significant when you're contemplating the age of the universe or the sheer number of stars out there.
Exactly. It's not about ignoring our problems, but maybe approaching them with a little more grace and a little less anxiety.
And maybe it can also inspire us to act, knowing that we're part of something much larger than ourselves, something that's worth preserving and exploring.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the planet and potentially for life beyond Earth.
It sounds like this cosmic perspective, as the article called it, can be both humbling and empowering.
Definitely. It reminds us of our place in the grand scheme of things, while also highlighting the incredible potential we have to shape our own destiny.
Yeah, it's wild how that works, right?
Hmm.
Like suddenly you're thinking about the age of the universe, all those stars out there, and your daily worries kind of fade away.
It's true. You get this sense of perspective. Realizing our problems, they are real, of course, but compared to the vastness of existence.
Yeah, it's not that we should ignore our problems, obviously, but maybe this cosmic perspective can help us deal with them, a bit more calmly, maybe with a little less anxiety.
I think so. And, maybe it can even push us to take action. When you realize we're part of something so much bigger than ourselves, something worth protecting, worth exploring.
It's like that feeling you get when you look up at the night sky, that awe and wonder. It's powerful. Maybe it's not just a fleeting feeling. Maybe it's a call to action. Like, hey, we got to take care of this pale blue dot. And when we venture out there, we do it with respect.
It's a pretty powerful thought. That exploring space, it can actually change us, make us more aware of where we fit in, in the universe and how we need to act.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I gotta say, I'm feeling a mix of things. Humbled, for sure, by how vast and mysterious the cosmos is, but also excited,
Yeah.
about all the possibilities out there waiting to be discovered.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's a journey full of wonder and challenges, but ultimately I think it leads to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe.
And that's what makes it all worthwhile.
Right.
This thirst for knowledge, this drive to explore, it's part of what makes us human.
Couldn't agree more. It's a journey that's just beginning, really, and it's one we're all taking together.
So to everyone listening, keep looking up, keep asking those big questions, and keep exploring. You never know what amazing discoveries are out there, both out there in the universe and within yourselves.
Well said. Until next time, folks. Clear skies.